So Barry, how you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Hey, how you doing, Kevin? I'm fine.
You know, one of the reasons why I wanted to get you back so that we could, put a finer point on what you do as a professional in the men's clothing business. I just wanted to sit down with you. I don't want you to share all your secrets, but I want to take a deeper dive into what you do in terms of your day-to-day business. And one of the things that I find that is most fascinating about you and your career is that you came along after the major iconic surge of the fashion district. You know, when you go to the fashion district, rolling racks up and down the street, and 60% of America's garments are made, right here in Manhattan. And you came along after that, but you still hold on to those same ways and same mode of operation of doing business in the rag trade. And I'm very, very fascinated by that. And I kind of want you to go into a little bit about how you started your career in the fashion industry.
Okay, well, it started roughly 27 years ago with a gentleman by the name of Al Lewis. Al Lewis was a jobber. What I did for him is I got the merchandise from him, put it in the garment bag, and I went out to different locations, sometimes Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, to physical boutiques, and I showed the buyer or the manager or the owner what I had, and I gave them the business card and just tried to draw them into the showroom and show them where they could really see the abundance of what the business we had to offer.
So now, when did you start selling men's clothing?
Well, after Al Lewis, I stayed in the same area, maybe 2 blocks difference from where his showroom was. And I started with a small mom and pop store called Prado, P-R-A-T-O, not D-O, T-O. And it was basically a mom and pop business. They had about 20, 30 stores, but they sold like suits, they sold casual weekend gear, but it was at a very, very low affordable price. So in that store, I learned a lot about tailoring from the tailors, because I've always had this thing where I want to learn and be a sponge, get information from tailors. So I learned body measurements from the tailors, and then I just put my twist on everything that I knew from, how to dress a man, pocket squares, and the whole accessory haberdashery part.
I want to, you getting a little bit ahead of me, and I kind of want you to stay on the sales floor right now, because we're going to get deep into that tailor shop in a minute, because I know a lot of your expertise lies in that area. But I want to keep you on the selling floor, because in the middle of the pandemic, with all the foreclosures and all of the bankruptcies and all of the stores going out of business, even the stores that are reopening are not putting people with the level of expertise that you have out on the selling floor to assist customers. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is a great opportunity for people like yourself, who are the professionals, who also know the manufacturing, the tailoring side of it, and you also know how to service the customer. And I think this is a great opportunity for independent professional people like yourself. So I want to keep you on the selling floor so that we can talk about how your services could be probably more important now and more advantageous to the customer now more than ever. So I want you to talk about how you develop those relationships with your customer, and just how you look at them and decide, which garment they should be in, what size they should be in, which fabric they should decide on. I kind of want you to go into that customer relationship side.
Well, the first thing that I think in any place where we work, like I've worked in Nordstrom's and I've worked in Prado and Sims, and a lot of different boutiques and stores. The first order of the day is the salutation, just a simple greeting. How you doing? My name is so-and-so, your name is, and then to let them know these are the great deals that the store has, and I'm going to be over here. Just let me know when you need me to assist you, not be all over you like a shark, because that's an automatic turn off for people.
Right. Right. So you out of the gate with the customers, you're gonna establish yourself basically to be informational, to describe what the store has and some of the things you think that maybe the customer may like. So you're gonna not steer the customer, but you're gonna let the customer kind of get a feel of the store, and then you will try to assist in terms of the selection of garments.
Exactly. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter where you work it. It's the same formula. It's just a different blueprint. But people don't like pressure salesmen. They don't want to feel like you're a shark. You're trying to jump on me and make that big sale. Tell me about the sales first, and now my guard comes down because it's not basically a commission driven. It's more like you're giving me information. Now I'll give you my name. I'll give you this, and now we can develop a relationship. Now, what you do once you have that information you've given them, now they're more open-minded to, hey, what's your name again? And now we start the whole process of me dressing you and find out, why did you come in this store?
So bring me to the rack where on the selling floor. Bring me to the customer size and your presentation in terms of selection of fabric.
Well, first of all, I'll either nail it on the first shot or I'll come one size off. Like I'll say you're 44 regular, 44 long, and that automatically, once again, brings their guard down because they're like, wow, you got it right. Or they may say you one size off, but the communication is there, the walls.
Exactly.
Then you get into, who are you? I say, are you a guy that you do dark colors like steel blues, navy blue, black, gray? Or you're earth guy? Do you like beige and brown and olive? Once you get to the colors, now you can eliminate a lot of colors that you would have shown him, which would have closed that door that you opened. So once you get the size and the color preference, now we can talk a little interview about what do you do for a living. That also helps you to know maybe this guy's a little daring. He'll do something with a bold stripe, or maybe he's a lawyer. He likes subtle things. So the interview process is very important.
So talk now about the fabrics that you're going to lean towards, and why would you decide on that particular fabrics?
Well,
or that particular fabric that you may decide on.
The fabric, I'll do once again the interview. If the guy says, you know, I'm here on vacation, I'm not from here, I'm from Florida or LA, then you know he's from a hot climate, someplace where it's warm. You want to give him Super 120s, Super 130s, lighter woolens. A lot of people will say, oh no, wool. They don't know the information that you can get wool that's almost as light as linen or cotton.
That's right.
So you tell them that, and then you also say, wow, like I'm a creature of nature. I like a lot of prints. I like chalk stripes, Glen plaids. I like prints that are personified from the 30s and 1940s era. If I find out that you like patch pockets and prints and paisley, then I'm going to stay right there. I'm not going to move you over. If you don't like them, then I'll keep it solid and simple.
So now, in terms of your fabric selection, let's go into the business of selecting fabric. You as the independent professional going into the marketplace to decide on fabric. And the thing that I'm most fascinated by is the fact that although you came along after the garment district, the heyday of the garment district, you still have a lot of contacts there. And I want you to talk about that experience.
Well, the contacts that I've made, a lot of people that do custom clothing, they go through Mood. Mood has a great selection. It's almost like a pathmark of fabrics. But outside of Mood, which is pricier, I have 2 or 3 other people that I go to that I can get the fabrics at a lower price point, which works for me. And then in tail, what that does is I can offer a lower price point for the customer. If I'm paying for fabric a high note, then I'm going to charge you $700, $800 for a suit. If I'm paying less, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to give you a suit for $550, $600, but it'll be something that either is classic vintage or something more modern. But at the end of the day, you're going to love it because I'm going to make sure that fit is perfect.
So now, with you working with fabric, talk about your experience in selecting the fabric, and now let's move into the tailor shop. Once you have your fabric, and you're going to decide on which tailor is going to do the particular work for you. And let's stay on the clothing side, because you developed another source of business, and I kind of want to get into that later, but I want to stay with the clothing side of your business firstly, and for you to talk about your relationship with the tailors.
Well, as I said earlier, I believe repetition is good. If you deal with a tailor and his craftsmanship is right, then you need to stay with him. The tailor that I'm dealing with now, I've been with him over 16 years. The fabric store I deal with, I've known this guy for 15 years. Basically, I stay true to whoever I think stays true to me. The prices are good, the craftsmanship is good, so I stay with the same people. Now, you have to have a backup tailor, you have to have backup others into these stores to deal with fabric, but overall, the relationships that I've built with these people over the years, it stands and it works.
Yeah. So you've taken the whole mask as a fashion accessory to another level.
Exactly.
And your expertise in fabric really put your product at a more of a high-end value. And I find that so fascinating, Barry. And so what do you think the future is going to look like? You know, this is Fashion Week 2020. So what will men be looking for fashion-wise going into fall and winter?
Well, as you know, men have now started what I call dumbing down your whole wardrobe. If you look at places like DSW that were synonymous for beautiful shoes, now places that were shoes are now sneakers. So men are going to be matching their fashion conscious men are going to be matching their mask with their sneaker. Women, their mask with their blouses and their handbags. Basically, this for at least the next year and a half to 2 years, people will be matching their masks, their hats, their handbags. More creative people will do something like their mask with their fun socks. This is going to be the new fashion hit. The great thing about it is the price point doesn't break you like $150, $200 pair of sneakers. You get a mask, $10, $15, $20, and you style it. Like Walt Frazier says, you style it and you profile it.
So the future looks very promising for you.
It does, as long as I continue to be hungry, to be humble, to believe that God controls all this. But I can't rest on how it started. I have to continue to keep researching new fabrics. I got some Black History things coming up as early as tomorrow. So I stay on the grind. I stay researching, trying to find new mass fabrics, cottons, linens, silks. So hopefully I'll do even more than what I've already done.
So now, how are you utilizing platforms like social media?
Well, I'm only on 2 levels. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and it's been good. The thing about Facebook is, I've got about 700 followers, and you can reach out, but Instagram, due through the hashtagging and the different ways you can reach out to people that are from different states altogether. Like right now, I have customers in different parts of Georgia, California. I have doctors, some lawyers, teachers, and it's crazy the reach that social media has on just society. It's insane.
And you've seen the utilization of social media have an effect on your business.
It does, and thank God it's like I say, it's reaching out to people that I don't even know. I have half of my customer base, I don't even know them, I've never met them. The thing about it is now you have to look at the demographics. I have 90% of my customer base is females from the age 35 to 70 years old. Professionals. They repeat customers. They buy 2 or 3 masks, then the next week, what's new, Barry? 2 or 3 more colors of prints. So it's working out, but like I say, I gotta keep grinding, I gotta keep putting out new merchandise.
I want to stay on the customer professional relationship. I want to stay on that topic with you because now that stores have reopened, in a lot of instances, they won't be the kind of expertise that you can provide, that really personal service that you provide. And tell me about how that's an advantage to you going forward.
Well, people always like informative individuals to deal with. Right now, the youth is basically being hired more so than us dinosaurs, so to speak. They're hired at a lower price of whatever it is, $15, whatever it is an hour. But their way of selling or assisting the client is pointing the finger. When you have someone that's a veteran, they're going to give you the information. They'll probably walk you over to what you need. So it's like we're coming of our second era of relevancy.
So things look really, really promising for you, Barry, man. It's such a great pleasure, man, to be able to sit down with you and pick your brain about what you're doing. I think moving into the mass as a fashion accessory, I thought that was a brilliant move for you because I know once this particular part of where we are right now passes, you'll be back into the clothing business and all of the customers that you acquired selling mass, you can bring those people back into your clothing sphere. And I really appreciate the time you gave me, Barry, and I really appreciate you and all the great work you do, brother.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you taking the time out to interview me.